Pro boxing fans, we are here in Manchester. Frank Smith, you're a busy man, but I did pull you out your busy schedule to quickly get some thoughts on boxing. How are you, sir? How's things?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Good to be here in Manchester. Big weekend, massive fight tomorrow night. Excited. First boxing night at the Co-op Arena as well. So it's good. Looking forward to it.
I do like Manchester. Manchester, it is a good vibe, right?
Do you know what? I keep saying it. It's one of my favourite places, and I reckon I could move it actually.
Yeah, you're initially Essex, right?
Yeah, I'm Essex. Moved to Brighton by the sea. I love Brighton, but Manchester's great.
Nice. All right, let's talk about Chorley's finest. Jack Catterall against Regis Prograis. Good fight this. A lot of people are calling it out for a little while now.
They're calling me Volkov.
Why are they calling you Volkov?
Eddie's saying I'm his security guard, and he's giving me a name of Volkov because I'm getting, a bit bigger.
You're getting a little bit hench. Just talk to me about it.
I'd rather hench than fat, to be honest, mate.
No. I have compliments to you actually quite recently, saying you have trimmed down and you look quite big.
Thank you.
But yeah, is it? Let me firstly ask you this: Matchroom boxing. I've noticed a few people with a few body changes. Dan Barner, the press officer, looking very big. Is it a thing in the office right now where everyone's just training really hard?
We're training a lot, we're investing a lot of time and money in well-being. I think it's important for people. We've got Kai, who's somewhere here, normally in front of a camera somewhere. Kai's joined as our full-time trainer for the whole team. He's in the office, he travels with us, so it's good. I think it's important. I think it makes it easier to work harder if you feel good. So the mindset's definitely changed. Back in the day, in the early days, we used to go out a lot, like anything. We used to be travelling, used to be like, oh, this is fun, we go out. We still go out eating a lot. We do a lot of eating, but less partying these days. We've lost that edge, we're just focused on boxing. You're
getting old though, Frank, isn't it?
That's the easiest way to explain what's happened. I'm getting old.
Let's talk about this fight, Regis Prograis, Jack Catterall, a fight that a lot of people have called for in recent times. Finally here, had a little bit of a bump along the road, but we're finally here. Talk to me about this one. Two fighters with great skill sets going to be fighting on Saturday night. Yeah, look,
unbelievable fight. Exactly the type of fight that we wanted to deliver. I think outside of the world champions, this is the best fight for Jack Catterall. He said it himself. I don't think there's any other names out there you could have argued. Regis Prograis, albeit coming off a loss, he's coming off a loss against Devin Haney. We know what he's done in the sport over the last few years, so it's a real fight. And this is Regis Prograis' chance to show that he is still a name in the game and still got more to deliver in the sport. But Jack Catterall needs to come through this. It's going to be a real fight, but exactly the type of fight we wanted. And like I say, fair play to Jack Catterall because he also wants to take all challenges. He's not shying away from anything, and I think the winner of this will get a world title shot. That's the aim.
I was going to say, and I asked Eddie this, how much do you want Jack to get a world title? Because he has, a lot of people thought he won it last time around, but both of these are your fighters, which is sometimes quite rare in a promotional company that you put both your fighters together. But do you have anything towards that? Do you want Jack at some point to win a world title?
I'd love to see, I think for Jack is, when you look at Jack's career, he should have been undisputed. Without any argument, he should have been undisputed. So that's the harshest thing. He deserves that chance to become a world champion. He avenged that loss against draw against Josh Taylor when he should have won that fight. But he didn't become undisputed in that fight in May. And he deserves to be a world champion. I want to get him that shot. At the same time, we represent both fighters. We do it a lot. We've got it coming up with Galao and Sonny Edwards. We just want to deliver the best possible fights for the fighters we represent and get them paid. That's our job. We can't get in the ring and fight for them. Only they can do that. We did that really with the Devin Haney fight. Devin was someone we'd represented for a long time. Devin and Regis went in there, and it was a great fight. So it's all about delivering the best fights.
For Campbell Hudson, Eddie said it's a must-win fight for him. He's only 22, if that. Is it a must-win fight, or he obviously surely can go on if he does lose on Saturday night?
Yeah, look, I'm not sure it's about he can't go on from here, but I think it's a must-win fight in terms of career progression and where he wants to get to. I think if he didn't win, it's going to be hard for him in his mind, I think, to keep going. But it was a great fight the first time round. And again, it's a bit like the interview I saw he did the other day. I can't remember where it was, and I've said it before. You've got to respect fighters going in real fights, challenging themselves, rather than giving them shit. if they lose. That is the problem with the sport of boxing. It shouldn't be about, obviously we all want to win, every fighter wants to win, but it's about fighters taking real fights, and that's what Campbell Hatton's done. He's going straight back in there into a challenge, and respect to him for doing that.
Is that what we need to see in the UK though? Obviously a lot's been made, and Riyadh's season has been fantastic, and Turkey Al Sheikh, and you guys and Queensbury working together, it's been great for boxing, and we've seen some fights that we'd probably see in 12 months, we normally see over 3 years, but we've seen it luckily over 12 months. But in the UK there's been a lot of talk about making big cards for the UK fans. Do you feel like now it's got to a point where we can't just have fighters having warm-up fights, we need to be in the real deal fights?
100%, we've always said it, but you have to take away the pressure of keeping the O and staying undefeated. It's about challenging yourself, it's about making the best fights in the sport that are going to grow the sport for the long term, and like I say, fans not looking at fighters when they lose and going, he's finished, he's useless, he should retire, he's shit, because it's not the right way to look at it. If a fighter's taking a real test and challenging themselves and doesn't win, so be it. It shouldn't be the end of them. But we definitely need to deliver. I think we've got a great night here on Saturday. We've got a great night on November the 30th with Sonny Edwards and Galarian fight. A brilliant fight there between those two guys. So yeah, we know what we need to do. We're going to keep delivering and keep building these shows.
Obviously, with the stable that you have, and it is quite big, are you getting fighters at this point sort of ringing you up saying, listen, we just need a fight very soon, or have you got it planned out for the next couple of months on what shows you've got going on?
Yeah, no, look, we're doing a lot of work. We're working on our schedule January to March now. Obviously all fighters always want to stay active, so that's the focus for us. We're always working as a team to make sure we keep the fighters active, but we should have some news soon on our shows early part of next year as well.
Just the last couple before I let you go, we saw Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk just a couple of days ago in the launch press conference. Give me your thoughts on this one. I don't want to talk about a boxing point of view because you don't like talking about boxing. That's not your forte, and I get that. But in regards to a fighter, and you've been around a lot of fighters, how difficult is it for fighters to overcome mental demons? I'm talking about Tyson Fury
in terms of losing,
and even like, because you've been around Anthony Joshua a lot, so you've seen different type of fighters go through this sort of thing and recover. Tyson Fury, do you reckon he can overcome mental demons to beat Alexander Usyk?
But every fight is different. I think Tyson is of that mindset of, he's got the mindset, get back in there. Look, he's never lost, is the only difference. He's never suffered a loss. How does that change him? But that might drive him more. At the same time, I believe he's got the ability to win. Obviously, I think the best can all beat the best on their night, and I think he can go in there and get that next time round. It's going to be under a lot of pressure, but that's what high-level sport's all about. But in no way do I think it's a foregone conclusion who wins that fight. I think Usyk's going to be better. I think Tyson Fury has to be better. I think Usyk is the favourite. But, look, fighters can come back. It's difficult. But this is the world we're in as well, where the pressure of, useless, should retire. Lost, should retire. Load of shit, should retire. It's just like, you're talking about the best fight and the best. It's what we're all here for. It's what we all want to see. And you shouldn't write people off like that.
Just coming on to Joshua, a lot of people that I've spoken to have said, listen, maybe you should retire. That's ex-fighters. But in regards to Anthony Joshua, this now seems to be talks that maybe this Dubois fight isn't going to happen. Maybe they're going to go separate paths. What's the latest that you can tell the fight fans right now in regards to when Anthony's fighting and who possibly could be his opposition?
I think in terms of, it's more about time frame right now, less about who, do you know what I mean? It's about, is he going to be ready for a February fight, and that the reality is probably not. So it's less about opposition, it's about when he's fit and ready. He's not going to rush into a fight coming off the back of, if he's got niggles, this, that, the other, if he's not ready. And fight fans would also say if a fight went in there and they're injured, got an injury and weren't ready, then they'd moan at the same time. Yeah, so he wants to be 100%, and that's the focus. If that means Daniel Dubois takes another fight, then obviously that's his. That's for him to do, isn't it? He's got to get on with his career. He's in the peak of his career, so he wants to get active. He wants to get boxing. So I think we'll see. Obviously that then plays into seeing what happens with the Usyk Fury fight on December 21st as well. But yeah, I think first things first is time frames, getting those set, and then we go from there.
Just a final two from myself. Obviously, Simon Jordan's talking about Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren bullying Ben Shalom, and I don't want to really get into the back and forth in regards to this, but what will it take for you guys to, you know, sit with Boxer and just iron stuff out if it can be ironed out, and just make sure everyone's on the same wavelength?
I've said it a million. I've sat down with them on numerous occasions. I've sat down with Ben on numerous occasions. I can sit and talk to Ben if we're sitting here. Hey, how are you? Yes, good, thank you. How are you? When it comes to doing business, he just doesn't know how to operate. That's the reality of it. And it's not just me saying that. Look at everyone in the industry. He works in funny ways. You know, it may work for him, but there's a resounding feeling towards Ben Shalom. Not just me. You know, people will say I go on about it, but it isn't just my feeling. And mine is not a personal, I don't care about personal feeling in boxing. Like, I work with a lot of people we don't get on with. That's always been the way, you know, and you make deals happen. But there has to be a professional courtesy and a way of working. And, you know, it's not just like ganging up. Look at over the years, even when we didn't get on with Queensbridge, we still made deals happen. And we're not standing in the way of making things happen. We've had fighters fight on Boxer shows. We've had multiple fighters fight on Boxer shows. The only time, I think, you know, obviously Tyler Denny boxed when we won the purse bid. But, you know, they've pulled most fighters out of purse bids. They talk about 5v5, but nearly every fighter that's been named is a fighter that's been already withdrawn from a purse bid. You know, so it's very easy standing here saying things, but it's the actual reality of doing it. And when it comes to the reality of trying to do business, he operates in a very strange way. I don't know why. It doesn't stop me from sitting down with him. You know, I've sat down with him on multiple occasions. I'm sure he'll tell you the same thing if you ask him. But I just don't really agree with the way he operates. And I think a lot of people in boxing would say that.
Great enough. Last one for myself is Oscar De La Hoya and his clapback Thursdays. First of all, what do you make of that? What do you make of these clapback Thursdays from Oscar?
I think he's funny. If you can't take it too seriously, can you?
Well, he has gone after Canelo this time, and he said that.
In full fairness, I haven't watched yesterday's one. I watched the other one. I just sit and laugh at them.
But do you think he's just out there just to annoy people? Because obviously he's been after Eddie for the last couple of weeks.
He's just trolling, trying to stay relevant, isn't it? That's the reality of it, and it's working. Because people are going, "Oh, I love this thing he's doing." You just can't take it all too seriously, because he talks a load of shit in there. I don't know what he said about Canelo Alvarez. He's bitter that Canelo Alvarez left him, obviously. Hence why.
One thing he did mention, I do want to actually ask you this, because he talked from a boxing point of view. Is he said there was certain people in my office who were traitors, and they transferred all my fighters over to PBC when PBC launched, and you know he was calling them traitors, and in his office. Do you know the sort of the nice part of boxing and the dirty part of boxing? Do you get that in boxing?
You have to have the right people around you, obviously. You have to have loyalty, but that's about, you know, it's about building bonds and relationships over years, isn't it? You know, like, it's like saying I move across somewhere else and try and steal all the Matchroom's fighters and set up Mushroom Boxing tomorrow. You know, like, it's about having a relationship where it's more than just boxing, more than just a business, more than just sport. I can't talk on what happened with him and the PBC situation. That's not for me to talk about. But, you know, he obviously, if he was there running his business and across it all, it wouldn't have happened.
Fair play. Frank, I do appreciate your time, as always. I know, like I said at the start of this interview, you're a busy man, but you make time for us. Thank you so much for your time, man.